This is AP News Minute. President Donald Trump and leaders in Iran appear to be split over whether peace talks are starting. Trump announced that new talks were set to begin Monday, but Iranian state media says Tehran is not currently negotiating with Washington. Two Republican senators who threatened to block acting Attorney General Todd Blanche's bid to lead the Justice Department now say they'll support the nomination. The change came after Blanche formally rescinded Trump's $1.8 billion so-called anti-weaponization fund. Light winds and lower temperatures are likely to help firefighters combat wildfires in eastern Washington state. The wildfires have destroyed hundreds of homes and forced thousands to evacuate in the region around Spokane. Japan's prime minister traveled to the country's hard-hit quake region for the first time following last week's deadly 7.1 magnitude earthquake. It killed more than 30 people, and now blistering heat and a shortage of water are making the recovery more difficult.
The infamous explosive diarrhea parasite has now turned deadly in Michigan after the state reported the first 2 deaths linked to the outbreak.
There are hospitalizations, and definitely the immunocompromised or individuals that have some really bad reactions to that.
According to the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services, both patients had, quote, significant underlying health conditions and died after getting the foodborne illness.
When someone is ill, they should, after a couple of days of experiencing, the watery diarrhea, and if it doesn't go away, they should definitely seek medical attention.
Michigan is the hardest hit among the 45 states reporting cases, with more than 11,000 total, and as of late July, nearly 200 hospitalizations. Federal health officials linked the outbreak to lettuce imported from Mexico that served at Taco Bell locations around the country. And since then, some producers have seen more consumers buying local.
People have really come out of the woodwork and want to know where their food is coming from.
And Michigan health officials won't be releasing any more information publicly on the 2 fatal cases, but added that death from the parasite is highly uncommon in the U.S. And New York, Caroline Elliott, Fox News.
We bring people to zombie apocalypses. We bring people to the forward-thinking world of a alien invasion.
Full immersion. That's the goal of Sandbox VR in Gilbert, a company hoping people want to step outside of their normal routine and experience another reality, even just for a little bit of time. That's also a focus over at the Escape Game, also in Gilbert.
We have like live movie sets here that you're going to be working through. There's a lot of different interactive parts to all our games, and so our goal here is to give you the best experience possible for 60 minutes.
You can choose from several different escape rooms, including a submarine adventure, a museum heist, and a murder mystery set in an Italian restaurant.
This one is a little bit different. It's the whodunit. Completely, it's not about just escaping. It's also about figuring out who committed the murder.
In the midst of an Arizona summer, both of these places provide indoor options for a night of fun with family and friends. And at Sandbox VR, they even have a special summer deal.
When it's 115 outside, you get 15% off. When it's 130, you get 30% off. Every 5 degrees hotter, 5% more off.
Perhaps the only time you'd root for higher temperatures, right? In Gilbert, Nicole Christine, Fox 10 News.
Sunset.
Hey, can we do this one at a time, please?
2 at a time seems to suit Tom Holland and Zendaya. Their new film, Spider-Man Brand New Day, opened with a massive $355 million, while The Odyssey, also featuring Holland and Zendaya, now in its 3rd weekend, racked up $51 million. Throw in the smash hit Toy Story 5 and the other films now in theaters, and overall, domestic moviegoers spent some $430 million, by far the biggest collective weekend in box office history.
The bake part is what I have most confidence in. Paul's right behind me. Okay, thank God, thank God. I didn't want him to hear me talking confidently.
Taran Killam, Michelle Buteau, Jay Farrow, and Natasha Rothwell do their best to impress Paul Hollywood and Prue Leith in the Great American Baking Show, Celebrity Summer. Will this latest class of wannabe bakers rise like a perfect loaf or fall like a failed souffle? The special is now streaming on the Roku channel. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Behold! I've rebuilt my time machine!
Drama returns to streaming screens for its 14th season.
Space pirates!
Vampires!
Alien invaders! What do we do?
Having the whole culture of the future and science fiction to work with, we have a lot of stories that we can get to. Our problem these days is trying to remember if we've already done a show. And there's always one writer says, we already did that in episode 78 or whatever it is.
It's idiot proof. We'll see about that.
It's so quotable. That's a testimonial to the writers. There's so many things that I might consider, happenstance in a script that turns out to be a meme. Like the professor saying, who needs courage when you have a gun? And it became a meme suddenly. And, all of it, whatever Fry, shut up and take my money. Shut up and take my Zoidberg, why not? No one loves Zoidberg.
I feel like if you can get an emotion out of somebody with a crazy science fiction cartoon, that's a very high degree of difficulty. So those are kind of the ones I feel proudest about, and also the ones I think that have made some of our viewers into the hardcore fans who are lobbying for us.
You can't just leave me here to die.
Good point. We'll stay and watch.
In Hollywood, I'm Rick Shella.
Ariana Grande has pulled out of an upcoming stage musical in London and plans to withdraw from the public eye for a break from the intense scrutiny she faces. Grande had been due to star alongside her Wicked co-star Jonathan Bailey in a production of Stephen Sondheim's Sunday in the Park with George at the Barbican Theatre in 2027. Empire Street Productions said Sunday that Grande will no longer be part of the production. "We know this cannot have been an easy decision," the company said. A representative for Grande told People magazine that the 33-year-old singer will be taking a step back from visibility after she completes the Eternal Sunshine Tour. She will then be taking a much-deserved break from public-facing work and appearances, which has led to endless ongoing public scrutiny, the statement added. The tour is due to wrap up in London on September 1st.
Watch a routine traffic stop turn into a terrifying close call for a Texas cop. The El Paso PD officer was conducting a stop on Interstate 10 when, according to a department Facebook post, an alleged distracted driver failed to control their vehicle and plowed into the stopped car just inches from the officer, pushing the vehicle some 500 feet down the roadway. Both the officer and the struck driver were treated for injuries.
You okay?
But the department said none were life-threatening. They also said the incident is a stark reminder that traffic stops are among the most dangerous parts of an officer's job. Speaking of speedy scares caught on camera, watch a pair of fearless dogs chase a massive bear back into the wilderness. Their names are Badger and Banjo, and they are considered specialists with the Nevada Department of Wildlife, which uses these fast and furious Karelian bear dogs not just to usher wild bears captured in populated areas back into the wild, but to send a message: you are not welcome here. It's referred to as bear hazing, and it's a dangerous doggy duty to be sure, but fear not, the department says every operation is carefully planned and executed by professionals to keep not just the people safe, but the bears and the dogs as well. Finally, a Southern California sheepdog did its dispersion duty and was praised for helping clear the way for responders working an emergency scene on the foothills near Laguna Beach. Officials had a clear landing spot for a responding helicopter, all thanks to the dog's deft goat relocating skills. Although I'm sure the loud buzzing helicopter helped convince the herd to amscray. For Take a Look at This, I'm Jeremy Roth.
What a gorgeous day here in Wildwood, New Jersey for the Let's Surf Again event. 130 surfers of all ages and all abilities get a chance to get into the water, and they are loving every single minute.
It's my favorite day of the year.
I love tasting the salt water again.
For Dave Driscoll, there's nothing like being in the ocean.
I look forward to it all year. It's just so great out there. I never thought I would surf again or ride in a wave again. And now this helps me to do it, and I love it.
Amanda Pariseau was shot by a stray bullet that left her paralyzed a few years ago, so she now has a hard time getting in the water.
Something that being in a wheelchair is so difficult to do, and getting on the sand and being able to have this day for everybody is just so amazing.
Well, you're amazing.
Because I just wanted to be near the ocean and experience beautiful people that love the water that aren't able to do it anymore.
700 volunteers, including doctors, nurses, and therapists from Jefferson Health, all donating their time so people can have a day in the ocean just like everyone else.
Providing people with disability an opportunity to enjoy the surf and the sun, an opportunity they otherwise may not have had.
It just makes you feel included. You don't feel different here. Everyone just sees you as who you are as a person, and they make sure you can get out there, have fun, just like everyone else can any other day.
Any other day for her son and so many other surfers, a day Dave Driscoll will never forget.
Amazing. 3 awesome rides every year. I'll never miss it.
In Wildwood, New Jersey, Ellen Kaloje, Fox 29 News.
We are in Pacifica, California at Lindemar Beach, and we are at the World Dog Surf Championships. What this is a whole bunch of dogs around the world, around different states compete. So judging goes based on fashion, how long the dog has been on the wave, any tricks that the dog does, how many waves the dog has caught.
You know, he's got a persona to him. He is the smallest dog that surfs and the only miniature pinscher that surfs in the entire world. I took him to the beach, I took my surfboard, I'm like, I'll do a couple of little photos. He doesn't get off, he didn't want to get off. And then I walk over to the beach and I put him on a wave and he surfed it. And then I'm like, okay, there's a surf competition, I'm gonna enter him. He was 4 months old and he took 3rd place. So we've been surfing since that we got hooked. And we both overcame cancer. We're both cancer-free right now. So, you know, we are blessed people and dog. I consider him a people.
You know, it's fun. Everybody's having a good time. The dogs are having a good time. And it's just a fun thing to do. So I think a lot of people just really enjoy watching it.
Your half-used markers, paints, and craft supplies don't have to end up in the trash.
At Creative Reuse Centers, like this one, in Brooklyn, donate materials, get a new life, and shoppers can stock up for just a fraction of the price.
I got yarn, I got crochet kits, I got crochet hooks, and just other bits and bobs, some labels, and I got it for about $6.
Art supplies usually come in bulk, like a ream of construction paper or a pack of markers. Once the school project is done or you move on to a new hobby, they collect dust in a drawer or get tossed in the bin. Here, people can buy what they need from a host of donated items. It's like a thrift store for art supplies. Since December 2024, the center has saved over 8,000 pounds of crafting supplies from the landfill.
Reducing waste is the first benefit. But also you can be more creative when you're in a large warehouse and looking at things that you could not source yourself, right? Be it again paints and pigments or even canvases and things, or just weird bits and bobs, which is always part of the fun.
Trying out a new craft can be expensive, but shopping secondhand lightens the load.
We really try to make our art supplies affordable so that people can afford them and create, no matter who you are or what you're making. And art supplies can get so expensive, and we want to make it as accessible as possible.
People have shared and swapped arts and crafts for generations. These stores just create a formal space to do it while meeting other crafters.
So actually what I'm most happy for is my chance to donate stuff, not buy stuff, so that I can give it to other people that are going to be excited and use it instead of me just throwing it out.
It's a place for neighbors to help each other be creative and make something beautiful. And a reminder that the scraps sitting in your closet could be the perfect finishing touch for someone else's blank canvas.
I'm sure you've seen self-driving cars by now. Maybe you've even taken a ride in one. But have you ever been in a robotaxi that doesn't have a steering wheel? Well, federal regulators are clearing the way for robotaxis to operate without manual controls like steering wheels, and they might eventually lose the brake pedals too.
Zoox is a vehicle that has no manual controls, no mirrors, no need for mirrors with an automated driving system. And the cabin configuration, you have passengers facing itself, kind of like you're sitting around a campfire.
Amazon's fully autonomous Zoox vehicles are now allowed to charge customers for rides once they secure state and local approval.
It's kind of scary at the first time, but
when I just got used to it, it's really cool and chilling. Like, I really love the music and how you can like adjust temperature.
But some people are concerned about robotaxi safety. Sometimes these vehicles stop in the middle of a road or struggle to get out of a parking lot. In some cases, they have also passed school buses or interfered with first responders. Initially, Zoox is only allowed to deploy 2,500 vehicles without steering wheels over the next 2 years. Eventually, Amazon wants to produce as many as 10,000 robotaxis a year.
This is what he's going to tell you.
Trying to find the first place to put a body.
No, sir. The only thing they could do was kill him.
The jury to find the defendant